So my husband has been on my case for about a year about starting this YouTube channel, and I have balked and not done it because I had no idea where to start. I still don't really know where to start, but some of my advice when I'm talking to people about homestead and gardening things is that you just start. So I'm gonna take my own advice and we're just gonna start this. So hey y'all, I'm Cassie. I am from North Central Florida. And I homestead here. I actually hadn't really ever heard of the term homestead until like probably a year ago, thanks to TikTok. I grew up doing this. I grew up on a beef cattle farm, and we also raised Southdown lambs. So part of the animal husbandry and things like that have always been part of my life. We gardened and we grew fruit to an extent, but I dove into that deeper as an adult. When I was little, I was the kind who planted corn in rows in our driveway, so I've always just really loved gardening. So I moved here 10 years ago when I met my husband, and we built my first raised garden bed, and I'll kind of take y'all on a tour. And just over the last 8 years, I really dove in deep. We've added chickens and goats and quail and geese. We butcher a cow every year. We butcher a pig every year. Our kids are into showing livestock, so we usually butcher a pig that is a cold pig that didn't make it to the show ring. My husband is a team roper, so the cow that we butcher is typically an old roping steer that we just then take and fatten to butcher and put into our freezer. I have not dove into meat birds yet, but we did just get our first set of quail, and those will be used for meat. We just decided to go with quail over chicken for a few reasons. So hopefully once we get into the quail, maybe we'll get into raising chickens as well. I am into canning and preserving food. We are a rodeo family. I know, that's really strange. I feel like there's not many homesteaders who also rodeo, but we are a rodeo family. We raise AQHA and Appaloosa horses. They are performance horses, and they compete in roping events, reining events, and we have our first set at a barrel trainer. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. It's been fun to watch those evolve over the last 8 years from where we started. And we just keep growing and getting bigger into that. So that's been a lot of fun. I'm not really sure where to take this channel, but I am going to show y'all all of my gardens and my chicken coops really quick. That way y'all kind of have like an introduction to what you might see here. And then I'll probably just post once a week because, like I said, I don't really know where to start. Maybe y'all can guide me on what you want to see more of. So this is my raised garden bed area, and this one is the one that I started with 8 years ago, and slowly I've just added raised garden beds throughout the year. You'll see that there's actually like more over here that are hidden, and you'll kind of see all of our horses scattered out throughout all these videos. But this is just my raised garden bed area that I started 8 years ago. This is my first year with an actual in-ground like row garden, and I have 3 rows of tomatoes. I think there's like 80 tomatoes total, tomato plants total. A row of okra, and these are a row of zinnias and sunflowers. This is my first year with an in-ground row garden. This property tends to have a river that rushes through it from the next property over when it rains, and we never were really sure where the best place to put an in-ground garden is. I'm still not sure if it's right here because there is one section of this that washes really bad when it rains, but hopefully it'll all work out. This is where I am working on like a permaculture area. We of course live where the hurricane hit a few months ago, and so we have trees that are steadily falling that I have to clean up, but I did plant some watermelons and cantaloupe and pumpkins out here for this year, and then next year I hope to have more raised beds. I'm gonna go with raised beds. I know that sometimes permaculture doesn't mean you have raised beds, but I just feel like raised beds are better, so I'm gonna add in more raised beds out here, and it's just gonna kind of be like my food foresty permaculture area. This is my goat pen, and I keep them in a dry lot for many reasons, but because we live in Florida, it's better that they're in a dry lot. I raise Nubian boar crosses, so they look a lot like Nubians, but every now and then you get the really strong boar genetics like this big one right here. All of this property is actually the property that we just inherited. I'd say like 6 years ago is when we inherited it, and it was a complete jungle. My husband's grandmother was into tropical plants, so completely opposite of me, who's planting more native plants and edible things. She grew more decorative, ornamental tropicals. This is my original chicken coop. I haven't let them out for the day because if I let them out early, they go and destroy my garden. So I will let them out later today. These are barnyard mix. I have barnyard mix, and then I raise purebred silver lace Wyandottes. And in this coop are my purebred Easter eggers with their guard goose. And I have not let them out today yet either. They're still young, so they're still learning to go in and out of their chicken coop. I mentioned in my video before, but I'm an entrepreneur and I own a business. And so this is actually my business warehouse. And I decided that I wanted the landscaping to be edible landscaping. And so I have planted blackberries and blueberries around this side of the shop. And on this side I have, that is a dwarf mulberry. And these are 2 pineapple plants that I'm just waiting on the pineapples so that I can harvest them. And then I have my banana trees that I'm not sure are gonna survive here. I'm still on 8B/9A, and I just don't think these are gonna do really well, but we're gonna give them a chance. And then some artichokes that I started. And then I just planted a bunch of different bulbs on the side. I actually need to go get some pine bark to finish mulching this area. The fence line by the road, and this is where we actually have all of our citrus trees planted. I don't know if you can tell from this video. I also have some Barbados cherries planted across this area so that the animals could not get to them since they're poisonous to them. This is the barn for our show pigs. It currently sits empty as we wait on the next show season to start. But we should have pigs in it sometime soon. I'm just using it for storage for all my goat and chicken feed right now. The complete opposite side of the property as the chicken coops, because my husband didn't want my chickens in his barn, we have our horse barn, and I think there's actually a couple horses that I'll go show y'all in there. And then right behind the well is where we have all of our blueberry bushes. Our blueberry bushes, and this ground over here is hard as a rock. And so we've actually thought about moving these because not much grows well over here, but this year they're actually pretty established and they're full, so we decided, well, maybe we'll give them a few more years and leave them. Actually looks like there's one ready over, oh no, in a few days it'll be ready, but they actually got full this year for the first time. So after like 5 years of trying, I guess we're just gonna leave these for a few more years and see how they do. Let's go see who we can find in the barn. I think there's just a bunch of geldings in here. This is Elvis and Hollywood. So Hollywood is an Appaloosa. He is solid though. You never know he's an Appaloosa. But Hollywood and Elvis are in here today. But we just have a basic horse barn built for Florida weather. And then out back is where we have all the other horses. And then our broodmares stay at another property. So I don't have any babies here to show y'all, but we do have babies down the road. That's my homestead farm tour of the day. Let me know what else y'all want me to video and show y'all, and I'll try and make this a weekly thing. Thanks for watching and listening.